Hi, this is Audra again from Rankin Dragon channel, where we have plants, animals with a side of retro. Today I'm talking about terrariums. Terrariums were really big in the 70s, and the one that you're most familiar with is probably the Eames era planter that stood on a stand with a big glass ball or plastic ball. And a lot of people just filled terrariums of all kinds with, back then, with layers of sand, like sand art in the bottom, and then put all kinds of plants in their terrarium top. They even did plastic plants as well as real plants. So I couldn't come up with that. Every time I found one of these at a garage sale or thrift store, it was way over $150 to $200, and I just couldn't come up with that. So this is my take on the 70s terrarium. I used a biorb fish tank that I had left over, a baby biorb. It's not one of the big ones. And I took and put some plants in it that I got from 50 cents a piece at Lowe's that looked like they were ready to die any day. So they were marked down to 50 cents. And they were plants that at the time I was wanting non-toxic plants because I, have a lot of pets, and I didn't want anything out where the pets could get in them, but yet I loved the look of some of the other plants. So this was a great way to look at other plants that were toxic to pets that I could put in an enclosed space. You just need to look for something on your terrariums, all plants that are the same size and require the same light level. So you want plants that don't get super big because you're putting them in a confined setting, or else you're going to be trimming like crazy. So I believe the polka dotted plant was some form of Dracaena, but it was a small form, and the other plant on the side, which looks really spindly and not very attractive, but it was cool. And stuff turns my head when it's unique or weird, so it was called an onion plant. So what the heck, I just threw it in there. And this has been going about 8 months now. I did this back the first of the spring, and I wanted to put moss in there, but at the time it was so dry there was no moss in my backyard, which there's not much anyway, but none at all. And I was too embarrassed to go meander down the road and steal somebody's moss, so I didn't do that at the time. And I went around to some of the nurseries asking for it, but I just couldn't find any. So anyway, this is the way I have it with no moss right now. And the Smurfs are off my daughter's birthday cake, so we had those, and we were able to put them in her. Keep them afterwards, and they're cute, and they're the little Smurfs. So anyway, what you need to do is you need to get some things for a terrarium. And for a terrarium, you need, since there's no drainage holes and no place for that to go, you're going to need some aquarium rocks or some gravel, any type of gravel in the bottom. You're going to need something called activated charcoal or activated carbon. And let me get it here. This is the activated carbon. You can get it, you don't have to get this brand, you can get it at Walmart, you can get it at any aquarium store, you can get it anywhere aquarium pet stores have it. And it's just a charcoal that you're going to put above your rocks to give you a layer to keep the soil fresh without it going, getting moldy and rancid and the things. It just keeps the freshness to your soil. It takes out the impurities, or it takes out the impurities, and it keeps your soil fresh. So you want to do that, and then you'll layer your soil on. And I was going to tell you, you can do this with anything. You can use a pickle jar, would make a good little terrarium. Actually, this little thing here would make a good little terrarium. And you don't have to have it a closed system like this. This does have one little opening where you feed your fish on top, which kind of keeps it a little better. It's not quite so moist. It's just perfect as far as the moisture goes. And this happens to have a little light in it. But you don't have to have a light. You can sit it by a window, and you can have an open top or a closed top. And If you need, like if you're going down in a very skinny jar, even like a glass vase, you can use like these kind of tongs to put your plants down in there if you have trouble getting your hands in. These are reptile feeder tongs, or you can get these at any PetSmart, any Petco. I don't think Walmart has these, but it's to feed like worms or stuff to your reptiles to go way down in there, and they're really nice. These come in handy around the house because, you know, sometimes you just need that long reach, and they're great little tweezers. So actually, I've never even fed a reptile with them. I just use them for other stuff. So there is that, and then that is about it as far as the terrarium goes. Now, you can, whenever you water this, what the best way to water this is, and this one you could just dump water in or put a watering can down in there because it is, you know, you have enough room in the top. But if it's a small enclosed area, this is a turkey baster from Walmart. Take your turkey baster, put some water down in there, and then put the water in where you want near your plants. Try to stay near your plants and not just, you know, load it up with water all around, and that'll keep the water just close to your plants, and you'll keep mold and mildew and some other things out of there. Water up close to your plants and use this as your watering tool. Also, whenever, this one actually probably could use a tiny bit of water, but if you look in the back, I kind of wiped off the front. There is, I don't know if we can see, but there is water droplets back in the very, very back. It's kind of hard to see the back of that glass. If you have, okay, let me zoom back out so we're not going crazy on the zoom. Okay, if you have water droplets in your terrarium, that means you don't have to water. If you get to where you're not seeing any water droplets on the inside of your glass, then you need to add some water, because the water will go down to your plant, and as the condensation builds up, it'll come back up into the top of the terrarium, and then it'll come back down on your plants. It gives your plants amazing humidity, and that's why these things work so well. Back in Victorian times, they transported plants from other areas into in glass containers, and they noticed that as the glass containers, these plants weren't dying off like they were whenever they were just transplanting them in boxes or by themselves and exposed to the atmosphere. So that's how they came up with terrariums as a very good thing. And you know, greenhouses, as everybody who has plants know, it's wonderful for your humidity. Your plants will love this. These plants here are a moisture loving plant. You don't want to put a cactus, a succulent, anything like that in one of these closed terrariums. I am going to show you a system and how I kind of layered this up since I've had this going for a while. I'm going to show you how I layered it up, and exactly the same way with an open bowl, and we're going to use cactus instead of the terrarium type plants, and show you how you can make a cactus bowl using the same principles of the terrarium, just like we did here. Okay, so hang on a second, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you how to make a cactus bowl mini terrarium. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and I'm going to back up just a little bit and show you how we make our cactus bowl. We're going to take the aquarium rocks that we said that are good in any type of bowl without drainage. So this bowl doesn't have any drainage either. This is my $1 little hot orange bowl that I found at Walmart on clearance. That was awesome. And so I'm going to put a good layer of aquarium rocks. Let's just put it all in there. It's not a lot. So. And that's exactly how I did it in my other terrarium. You want to put down the rocks. Okay, then we want to put down our activated carbon that I showed you before. Pour a layer of that on. Doesn't need a ton of a layer, just like not an inch or anything, just kind of layer over the top of it. Like that's good. Okay, if you have a moisture-loving aquarium, or terrarium, I should say, what you need to do is you might want to put a layer of moss, just wet it, like you can use the, I had some Fluker's pet moss, which is the same, I believe it was the same as sphagnum moss that I wetted and put underneath just to add a little more moisture. But for this, since these are cactus plants, we do not want to do that. Any type of succulent, you don't want to add more moisture down there. So just the rocks and the charcoal will be good. And then I am using, this is some leftover that I have from, it is Miracle-Gro, which I'm not crazy about Miracle-Gro, to be honest, but this is Miracle-Gro cactus, palm, and citrus soil. So I'm going to put some soil down in there. Go ahead and add in. Probably want to bring this pretty close to the top. Because these cacti, I guess if you would say in plural, they don't sit very far down in the soil at all. Just a little bit. Let's see if that's good. Let's see, this one here. And they sit down about like that. Let's go, looking at my other one that I have hanging in my kitchen, my cactus, and I think we're going to go up a little bit more. Okay. So go about to there. And we're going to take the cactus that I found that was also on clearance. Yay, I love Walmart's clearance on their plants. It's fantastic. So, I think these were like $1 something a piece. So anyway, we're going to put these here. Let's see. I think we'll start with this little Mickey Mouse looking guy. I thought he was cute. It looks like a hidden Mickey. For anybody who knows what that is at Disney World. They hide Mickey ears throughout their park on all their stuff in the park. Plants or anything, decorations. They'll have little Mickey shapes everywhere. So I thought this was a perfect little hidden Mickey. Gosh, these do have a lot of roots, farther than I thought. Okay. That there little guy looks cute back there. And let's put, let's see. Let's do the tall ones in the back. And these guys I can touch with my hands. I'm going to show you a trick that you can do with the ones that you can't touch. Because their spines here are not very spiny on these little grafted. These are 2 grafted cactus, by the way. These are, they graft one type of cactus onto another cactus. They don't come like that, or not in reality. Some man-made, they have made those that way, which are really neat. Okay, so maybe we'll go this way with this guy. Stick that one in there. Alright, now we are getting somewhere. Okay, now we've got these spiny, creepy ones that will make you cry. Oh, I do not like touching these guys. So, here's a little trick. Make you some newspaper and just kind of roll it up flatly about 2 inches, however high your cactus is, and tape it up. And then we're going to take make a little handle here, and we're going to go around our cactus and lift it up. I don't know if I can show you this where we're at, but we're going to actually like place it around it. Can you see what I'm doing there? And we're going to pick it out of the pot just like that. And oh baby, that saves your hands and a lot of bad language probably. Because it really hurts whenever those get in your hands. Okay, then we're going to put him right here. And use your newspaper. And cactus don't go down very far in the soil. They just kind of go up to, let it go up to the line that you had it in. You can always go lower and fill in a little more later, but it's difficult to get it out once it's out. Okay, well, there's that little guy there. And then let's go, I guess, right here with this guy. And I'm just doing the same thing. I don't think you can see, I don't know if you can see over here where I'm at, but I'm going to do the same trick with my paper, because this guy is even scarier than the last guy. This guy here is spooky. You know, I want some area up front, so I'm just going to move this guy over. I think I'm going to put this here. Put him right. Oh, yeah, don't use your fingers. Put this guy in the middle. And this isn't a permanent thing. Some of these cacti get very, very big. I think these barrow cactus in the middle get pretty big, and I think this guy is an I don't know how you say it, apuntia, or apuntia, I believe, or something like that. And these guys get really, really big. So, you may not end up leaving them in this bowl completely. So, someday you can take this and put them in a different one, because these guys are here are pretty close. Okay. So right now, I think these guys look good. And then I like a little set dressing, so with my plants. And everybody, I think, needs to put a little fun in their plants. And here's my fun. This is my Daggett. And no, I didn't just cuss right there. Sounds like it, doesn't it? Daggett. This is my Daggett. I've had him for a long time. I think it was called Muffy from the Battlestar Galactica. Say hi, Muffy. Hi, Muffy. And I've had it for years. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to stick my Daggett here because I'm just a total nerd that way. But anyway, I think it needs a Daggett. So, there you go. And I tell you what I'm going to do, just because I'm a little bit fun like that, and I always think out of the box. I got some cactus seed, and I'm going to do this later, but because I don't have my packet right here with me, I took it upstairs. But I'm going to stick, where my finger is, I'm going to stick a cactus seed right there. There's 15 varieties in that pack, and just a little surprise, and maybe Muffy needs a little mini hydrant or something in there. So we're going to stick it there and see what happens, and then I can film it later, and I'll see what kind of cactus comes up. But anyway, this is your cactus bowl and terrarium, and it's exactly like you would do in the other, except if you do have the other, use the tools I told you to be able to get your hands down in there. You can do terrariums as far as little as you know, glass jars, a jar like this jar here that I have water in, that I'm going to use to put some water on this soil in a minute to pack those in. But yeah, that's what you need for terrariums, and I think they're totally groovy and completely far out. So this is Audra at Rankin Dragon Channel.